This is the After Party, live with Kim McAllister. Pick a couch, grab a drink, and settle into the conversation.
Hello, everybody. There I am in the corner again. What is my story? Am I even on? Hello, is this thing on? Hello. And my camera's not working. Oh, let me turn that on. Wow, I'm starting with a big bang today. Hi, guys. Hello, how's everybody doing today? I see you guys talking in the chat. It is Trivia Thursday, and I had a great suggestion from Julie, who emailed in about the possibility of doing Native American trivia. And I thought that was a great idea. So we will do some Native American trivia today. And I have another Halloween spooky story for you as well. There is a mystery. Thank you. We can hear you. I don't know what my problem is. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for letting me know. Better than the times where I mute myself and do half the show with no volume. You know, those are the beautiful days, right? Beautiful palm trees. Yeah, I know. Sometimes you just need a little tropical lovin' in the middle of the wet winter, right? Let's look at this picture though that I have of this mystery. It's been going on for 30 years. See that pumpkin? You can see it right on top of the spire, on top of the building. There it sits in Missoula, Montana. And every year, right about this time, a pumpkin magically appears on top of this spire. Been going on again for 30 years. How does it get there? Who puts it there? What is going on? It's the main hall at the University of Montana in Missoula, and for the 30th consecutive year, a pumpkin was placed right on top of this hall. They have not been able to identify the pranksters who is behind this for 30 years. Since 1995, this has been going on. It's done during the cover of night during homecoming celebrations. NBC in Montana did some peeking and poking into this, and they talked to a climber who offered clues as to how the pumpkin might get up there, how someone might achieve this feat. The climber said, it looks like if you were going to do this, you would use a rear fire escape and then use parts of the clock to climb up until you're right at the top. The green roof is some sort of tile. And the climber said if it has any condensation, then it would be pretty slippery. So there has to be, according to this climber, a whole team of climbers and assistants that get this done. There must be multiple lookouts throughout the campus in the middle of the night, and then at least 2 climbers up top, everyone looking out with radios and group texts and what have you. So getting this pumpkin up here must be some kind of big operation. The climber said the school has tried to make the tradition safer by hiring professionals. They outsourced people to put it up there safely and not put students at risk. But the climbers still try to race them to get it up there first. They want to do it. So we don't know who is behind it, what student group may be behind it. Whatever group it is, they have some staying power. They're in it. And the pumpkin is there once again. Pretty cool. I think nowadays it would be really easy to put it up there, right? You just use a drone. Just get one of those Amazon drones with a precision dropping. Rest it right up there. Piece of cake. Technology has made this prank really easy. But it kind of looks cool, the pumpkin sitting up there. I would think after 30 years that if they failed to do it, and no one put a pumpkin up there, it would be such a bummer for everybody. But what a pretty picture in Montana, in Missoula, at the University of Montana, and a cool tradition that they do there. That's that'll another story that gets you in the Halloween spirit. Here's a story that is meant to lift your spirits. Look at that little one. Oh, it's a little baby green sea turtle. These wonderful creatures that have been endangered for so long are being brought back from the brink of extinction and are no longer endangered. The International Union for Conservation of Nature has elevated this species, the green sea turtle, from endangered to least concern. This organization moves species between categories when they have new data that indicates changes in their population and their threat levels or their habitat. And here's what they say in a press release about the green sea turtle. The ongoing global recovery of the green sea turtle is a powerful example of what coordinated global conservation over decades can achieve to stabilize and even restore populations of long lived marine species. They write, such approaches must focus not only on the turtles, but on keeping their habitats healthy and their ecological functions intact. Sea turtles cannot survive without healthy oceans and coasts, and humans can't either. Sustained conservation efforts are key to assuring this recovery lasts. These turtles, so cute when they're so little here now, right? They grow up to 5 feet long and weigh up to 400 pounds. They are one of the largest species of sea turtles. They feast on a plant-based diet, which is why they have a green hue, and they're found all over the world. They're considered expert navigators. I remember, was it a green sea turtle in the movie Dory? Dude, you so totally rock. And they're riding the currents. They are considered expert navigators, and they have returned to some of the same grasslands for thousands of years. They were first listed as endangered in the 1980s. And that's partially because for a long time, they were hunted because people used their shells as decorations and to make turtle soup. Their eggs were considered a delicacy and dug up from their nests on beaches. And then their number started to really plummet. Conservation methods and measures were implemented, including people who would patrol beaches during nesting season. They closed down some whole beaches to keep people out. They protect female turtles and their eggs. Some help release hatchlings into the sea. We yesterday had a story about new technology used on nets, solar nets that act as buoys to help keep the sea turtles from getting snared in fishing nets. So, it's a major win. It's being called a major win for sea turtles that illustrates that there's a power in global conservation efforts over time. Now, even though we have big improvements, green sea turtles are still well below their historic numbers, and they still are facing threats. We still have habitat loss and climate change to contend with. There are fewer fever baby turtles in Rain Island, Australia. There are fewer of them that are hatching. And again, often unintentionally caught up in fishing nets as well, which also hurts the population. But things are looking up for the green sea turtle. Kind of want to keep talking about them because I just love this little picture of him so much. But I have another story to tell you, and it's kind of a wacky little story. But bear with me for just a moment, if you will, because in Nova Scotia, there is a town, and in order to publicize the local pound, SPCA, what have you, animal shelter, they have this uh, campaign for the first ever pet mayor of this little town of Amherst. They're working with the Lillian Albon Animal Shelter, and they have announced their top 10 candidates from a field of mayoral pet candidates submitted by local residents. And you can vote on the shelter's website for your preferred pet mayor. So I thought, you know what? As we need a little levity in life, let's go through these. Derby is here for your concerns. I like Major. Major for mayor, it says. Can you see that? Is that big enough? That's pretty cute. There's Susie, who says everything will always be okay. Raya's a beautiful dog. Every day is a good day with Ray Ray. Ducky, together we can get our ducks in a row. Nunya Beeswax. All pets matter. Nunya Beeswax for mayor. Jack, a pot of gold in every rescue. Mr. Bear, loyalty you can count on. Nova, fetch master of Amherst. And I think this might be my favorite. Meow Stash. Distinguished, determined, dapper. Mayor Meow Stash. I think Meow Stash has my vote. I love that mustache. That's a great cat picture. Who do you like the best? Who are you voting for? I'm going to put this in the chat. If you feel like voting, go ahead. There it is. You can see them. But just kind of a fun story. It's whatever helps the animals get adopted in my book is fantastic. Whatever calls attention to their plight and helps them find their so-called forever homes, great. Yeah. There's a good kitty, says Trevor Starr. Love it. But I thought that was kind of funny. Okay, from this animal story to the next. And I guess it makes sense, but did you know? Oh, now I'm big again. Hi. Did you know there are bear traffic jams in Yellowstone? Oh, yeah. They just kind of wander out and all traffic stops. Everybody to a halt. Well, unfortunately, during the federal government shutdown, no one is policing these bear traffic jams during the shutdown. The bears right now are eating as much as they can before winter hibernation. But according to SF Gate, the government shutdown means Yellowstone employees are furloughed, including the rangers and the bear experts who manage all these traffic backups. They're called bear jams. It's what happens when bears get close to the roadways. The glaring thing missing right now, according to Evan Stout, who works with the Yellowstone Wildlife Guide Company, telling the Chronicle, there's a lack of resource rangers and the bear jams are crazy and there is no one overseeing them. So the visitors are still coming to Yellowstone National Park, but the rangers who are normally around to keep people and bears safe are not. One of the most visible aspects of the shutdown in the parks has been the bear jams in Yellowstone. So usually when a roadside bear is reported to park staff, they get a ranger out there or a bear management employee right at the scene, and they help direct traffic. They keep people from parking in the middle of the road or in unsafe locations. They tell people, stay in your car, because I guess we can't figure that ourselves. If there's bears wandering around the car, you might not want to be wandering around. But that helps also create a safe distance for these animals. But now the rangers are absent. The bears aren't absent. The tourists aren't absent. The rangers are absent. The bear specialists are absent. And without them, Tourons, I'll call them tourists today, I'll be nice, have been seen leaving their vehicles and walking toward the bears, especially in some areas of the park that are known for wildlife watching. Usually there'd be a park official on the scene discouraging this from happening. Stay in your car, don't come here. Bears are afoot. But now apparently people are getting out of the car and walking to get a closer look. No. The wildlife photographers who frequent this area tell SF Gate they recently witnessed a bear coming toward people. He was taking pictures as a black bear approached a line of stopped cars On the second day of the shutdown, October 2nd, the bear ran up to one car, peered in the windows, put its paws on the driver's side door. You see here, they should have a healthy fear of humans and cars and not walk right up. Folks at Yellowstone say visitors should stay 100 yards away from bears, wolves, and cougars, 25 yards away from bison, elk, and all other wildlife. Okay, that's great, but I would argue you should stay even further away because they move faster than you think, right? We've seen that time and time again. Approaching and feeding wildlife is prohibited. It is illegal, they say, to willfully remain near or approach wildlife, and that includes birds within any distance that disturbs or displaces the animal. This is all on the Yellowstone website. Viewing animals from a distance in your car is a safe option. Using binoculars or high-powered spotting scopes to watch for them for afar is okay. The SF Gate tried to contact Yellowstone National Park because usually there's a spokesperson, press person for the park that'll return your call. And they didn't. They said you can direct all questions for the government shutdown to the National Park Service, but the National Park Service didn't answer SF Gate about why whether rangers have been furloughed. They don't have staff to answer the questions even. So no. They were asked for clarification about whether resource rangers were furloughed, and a spokesperson who didn't want to be named said, "We did answer your question. It's fine if you don't care for our answer, but we addressed your question." I can be combative about, either they are or they aren't. Either they're furloughed or they're not. Why is that a combative question? I don't understand. Like, it's either yes or no. And, you know, come on. I don't know. The specific furlough numbers aren't known at Yellowstone. The shutdown plans for the Park Service said 15,000 remaining agency employees, or two-thirds, 9,300 workers, are furloughed. The parks are operating with 24% fewer permanent staff members, even they said before the Trump administration began. So that's what's happening there. If you're headed to Yellowstone, if you know anyone headed to Yellowstone, tell them to be careful. Bear jams are a thing, and apparently no one is really helping very much. So, something kind of interesting in the Korea region, something uncovered, an ice bunker uncovered. We've never seen anything like it. Check that out. This is an ancient underground freezer that was found at a South Korean castle. It's 1,400 years old, and it seems to be the oldest known facility of its kind. This castle is a historically significant royal castle. It's, again, 1,400 years old, and researchers uncovered this ice storage bunker while they were doing some excavation at the Buso Senseong Fortress. It's about 90 miles south of Seoul. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and it dates back to the Baekje Kingdom's Sabi period, 538 to 660 CE. It's on this hilltop that overlooks the Gyum River Basin, and it was a political and a cultural hub during this era. There are ornate palaces, courtyard terraces, Buddhist temples in this area, and this fortress was one of the dynasty's last holdouts, apparently, during a joint invasion from neighboring kingdoms. The workers, it seems, carved this 23 by 26 foot U-shaped bingo or ice warehouse into bedrock, and they reinforced its southern wall with stone blocks. which help, they think, maintain an interior temperature to slow anything from melting. There was a circular drainage pit in the center of this warehouse that offered as acted as a receptacle for water runoff. That's pretty smart. Now we take ice for granted, but back then, the ability to store it and keep frozen water signified very immense influence and privilege, and continual access to ice, regardless of season, supplied chilled drinking water, kept food preserved for longer periods of time. And because of this, these ice bunkers were usually only used by people that were elite, royals, people that had the knowledge, the tech know how back then. This bingo or ice bunker at Buso Senseong is the first structure found of its kind that dates back to this era. And I will say they found some cool things inside. You can kind of see the side pictures there. And I do have a close up of a Korean burial jar that was found. And inside, look how pretty that it's a piece of art. Inside, some ancient coins found as well. An important relic, they say, that gives a window into the religious beliefs at that time. Buried underneath the bingo was this ritual jar containing 5 Chinese coins. Architects frequently buried their short-necked earthenware symbols of prosperity and safety at the site of a new project in hopes of currying divine favor. Similar pieces of pottery with coins inside have been found across the kingdom's capital. And they say it shows there was a mix of indigenous Korean animism combined with outside Buddhist and Chinese influences as far as religion in this region as well. So now they're going to shift their work to the western section of this fortress. They think it will connect to the structures discovered during the most recent survey, but we'll see. Kind of exciting to see that. And you look at the picture of that ice warehouse or the bingo. Think about all the work that went into designing that and the drainage center, all the little spots to hold the ice. I don't know. I think that's really cool. There's something happening with ChatGPT. It's getting a little racy on the old ChatGPT. Sure, you can use it to help write your English paper, right? That's no problem. But maybe ChatGPT could write your romance sexy time novel. You would think, to really understand the intricacies of human relationships, that you would need to understand the human experience more. That using ChatGPT to write sex scenes, racy material, might come off as stiff, robotic. No pun intended. But yeah, they are now allowing ChatGPT to be uh, a little more erotic, you could say. ChatGPT will soon write erotica for verified adults, and it will become more human-like. It's part of the company's policy, they say, to treat adult users like adults. The chatbot will be able to create sexual content once they verify your age, and that's fully rolled out across the ChatGPT tool. But come December, they say, as they roll out the age gating more fully, they plan to treat adult users like adults, and they will allow erotica to be written for verified adults. So, as you can probably guess, there's a lot of pushback on this. People popping up on X with a lot of questions saying, "Why do age gates always have to lead to erotica? Like, I just want to be able to be treated like an adult and not a toddler, but it doesn't mean I want perv mode activated." Sam Altman says, "You won't get it unless you ask for it." The ChatGPT announcement says the product has become more restrictive and less useful and enjoyable to many users who are mentally able to handle whatever it has to give. They said, "We made ChatGPT pretty restrictive to make sure that we're being careful with mental health issues, given the seriousness of that issue that they wanted to get it right." Um, but now they say we've been able to mitigate the serious mental health issues, and they have new tools. They're going to be able to safely relax the restrictions in most cases. And in just a few weeks, they now plan to put out a new version of ChatGPT that allows people to have a personality that behaves more like what people liked about one of the versions of ChatGPT, 4040. They say they hope it will be better. The latest ChatGPT model is 5.0, and it's faced some criticism for being less playful and less creative than 4.0. So now OpenAI will allow 5.0 to respond in a very human-like way using a ton of emojis and even act like a friend if you want that option, like a person you could actually talk to rather than some type of compliance bot. And apparently for your sexy time talk as well. Can't imagine wanting ChatGPT to write sexy time stuff. No. But something else going on. This one with OpenAI apparently now, and see, I guess I looked at OpenAI as and ChatGPT and all of these as a something like a search tool almost that might, scour the web and they give you the AI overview and whatever. But now OpenAI is partnering with Walmart to let you buy items through ChatGPT. So there's a new shopping component to all of this. Yeah. The feature, expected to roll out soon, allows you to browse, plan meals, restock your house with items through a chat interface that connects to Walmart's instant checkout system. You'll be able to add products and complete transactions without leaving the Chat GPT platform. Never have to go. Just stay right there and order your stuff. The Walmart CEO said for many years now, e-commerce shopping experiences have consisted of a search bar and a long list of item responses, but they're running toward a more enjoyable, convenient future with Sparky and through partnerships that include this important step with OpenAI. The OpenAI CEO Sam Altman, we just talked about him with the erotica. He said, "This is designed to make everyday purchases just a little simpler." So Walmart and Sam's Club, which is its warehouse chain, they're already using AI in their operations. They use it to manage their inventory and to improve their product listings online and to speed up customer service responses. They say that it's helped them using automation has helped them reduce customer care resolution times by 40%, and it's shortened apparel production timelines by up to 18 weeks. They say now they're going to expand using AI tools by offering open AI certification programs and access to Chat GPT Enterprise to improve workplace efficiency and digital literacy. And apparently, to enhance your shopping, they're going to try to do it without replacing human interaction. But I mean, something's got to give, right? I would imagine. So there you go. New ways to order your Walmart wares. I still don't shop at Walmart. How about this? Oh, you know what? It's getting really late, isn't it? All right, I'll do this one story and then we'll get to trivia. How's that? I like it. There's a story about very scientific story about researchers creating structures that produce blood cells in the lab with a process that mimics real human embryos. It is absolutely amazing what scientists have been able to recreate and do. And I I'm all at once impressed and also a little scared about the implications of what this type of thing could bring our way. I have a picture for you that I will show you right now of the types of things that they are doing in the lab. There it is. Look at that. This could carry significant implications for studying blood diseases and also for studying early human development as well. So it all has to do with stem cells. And there's a bunch of different kinds of stem cells, right? They're called hematopoietic, poe- poetic. I don't know how to say it. He Here, I'll put it up here. I put it so you can tell me how to say it right. Because sometimes you need a little help from the scientists in our group, and I know you're out there. Here's what it's There it is. Hematopoietic stem cells. Is that how you would say it? I'm going to the chat. Did I get it right? Hematopoietic. Anyway, all right, I'll let you correct me. Teacher Lori's in the house. She knows. Um, but they are the forerunners of various types of blood cells, including red blood cells and white blood cells. So, researchers have now been able to, get this, mimic how human embryos create these blood cells in the first few weeks after fertilization. So, there are other ways to produce human blood stem cells, but this recreates the natural developmental process. The study published in the journal Cell Reports and could, they say, carry significant implications for studying things like leukemia and the medical use of stem cells. They used human stem cells to create embryo like structures called hematoids. And these hematoids mirror some features of early human developments, like when the organs and blood systems start taking shape in our formation. And just like in real embryos, human embryos, blood stem cell production in the hematoids starts around week 2 of development. By the second day of this trial, these hematoids had organized themselves into ectoderm, mesoderm, and endoderm. That's the 3 layers that make up the foundation of the human body's future development. By the 8th day, the researchers identified beating heart cells. By the 13th, they saw blood in the hematoids. The team also said the blood stem cells and hematoids can turn into different blood cells, including specific immune cells. They said it was so exciting when the red blood color appeared in the dish. They could see it with the naked eye. Study done at the University of Cambridge at the Gurdon Institute in England. They got so excited because the hematoid's blood cells developed to a point that more or less correspond to a human embryo in its 4th or 5th week. It's a stage scientists can't observe directly in an actual pregnancy because by then the embryo is implanted into the uterine wall. But by looking at these hematoids, they think it could shed light on blood formation during early human development, and it one day could help scientists stimulate blood disorders, or simulate rather, blood disorders, creating blood stem cells for transplants. The stem cell derived embryo models are called crucial for investigations to advance our knowledge of early human development. So they do point out, even though they saw the heartbeat, they say the new models contain human stem cells, but they're very different from real human embryos. The cells can't grow into embryos, they say. They were designed without a variety of embryonic tissues. They don't have a supporting yolk sac or placenta that they would need to survive longer term. So it's a very minimalistic system. The hematoids, though, are derived from stem cells that can be created from any human cell. And so that's why there's this implication for future medicine. Still in the early stages here, the ability that they say to produce human blood cells in the lab marks a significant step toward future regenerative therapies, often using a patient's own cells to repair and regenerate damaged tissues. So it's exciting when you look at the ability to cure disease, to help people, but I always have worry when this type of research is done. Like you want it, you need it, but you also want to make sure there's limits. Okay, I'm going back to see if anyone. Trevor says it's pronounced. Thank you. That's you're not helping me. Heather says it's say it hematopoietic, and that usually passes. Okay, Heather, if it passes in your world, it passes in mine. Hematopoietic, better than poetic, right? Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Ren asks, so is it life, beating heart, but no ability to develop a body and a brain? Ethical questions that are fascinating. Is it ethical to create a something that has a heartbeat or approaches a heartbeat in a lab? It goes back to, when does life begin? I guess, right? It can't develop into anything other than the stem cells needed to create medical therapies to save lives. But what will this research lead to? You know, uh, was it ever clothed? Good one. Rev P says, I'm still waiting for my intradiscal stem cell regenerative solution. Hope it comes. Heather says, I am not a good person to go to for pronunciation. I'm I would say I'm usually pretty good. Scientific terms sometimes can throw me off. Teacher Lori agrees. Yeah. I should really have Teacher Lori's phone number so that before the show I can call her and go over pronunciations with her for the sciencey stories. She says, yeah, hemato poetic. Yeah. Okay. Good. Mm-hmm. Poetic. All right, we're doing it. That's what we take away from this story. Santi says it's time to watch The Brain That Wouldn't Die from 1962. The Science of Science. All right, it is time for what? Trivia Thursday, after party style. Bring it. And thanks to Julie, who sends the most lovely messages, I have to say. Takes notes on the Mark Thompson show, always sends us little messages, but for both shows and Nikki's show as well, about things she's enjoyed, or ideas, all kinds of things. And this time she's come up with a great idea for Native American trivia. I took a couple of classes. One was a sociology 1, I think, class, and in that class they had a whole section about uh Native American arts and peoples. And then I took an art history class, and they too in that class had a whole section on Native American art. I kind of got into it. Some of these questions are easy, some not. Let me go to the chat and we'll do the first question. There you are. Where are you guys? Okay, there you are on my screen. Here it is. It's right here. Okay, we're going to do some. The first question is an easy one, I think. What is the traditional Maori war dance called? This is all indigenous people, not just America, not just Native American. What is the traditional Maori war dance called? Yeah, you guys got it fast. John Slade says it's the haka. It's true. Rev got it as well. Teacher Lori got it. Chris has it. Gordon has it. Donna has it. Yeah, a J can be pronounced like an H, right? Mama has it. Mm-hmm. It is not the Macarena. That's nice though. Next question. Good job, you guys. Uh, what is the name of the spiritual and ceremonial leader in many Native American tribes? The name of the spiritual and ceremonial leader in many Native American tribes. Go into the chat. It is the, what do you have? Chris Holm has it. It's the shaman. That is correct. Rev P has it as well as Nullifidian. Heather's on it. Gordon has it. Sandy has it. That is also the same thing. Shaman is a medicine man. Yes. Ren has it. Jane O. Teacher Lori. Rhonda has it. Donna has it. Mm-hmm. Mama has it. Nice. And we get it in Espanol. Curandero. Santi has it. It is not the QAnon. Wrong kind of shaman, my friend. Next question. Which indigenous Australian people are known for their art, which includes dot painting and rock art? Mm-hmm. Which indigenous Australian people are known for their art, which includes dot painting and rock art? And the answer is Aboriginal Australians, Aborigines. Yes, Rev P has it. So does Mama. So does John and Donna and Tammy and Gordon. Well done. What is, this is, I think this might be the easiest one of the group. What is the traditional Hawaiian feast called that includes food, music, and dance? The traditional Hawaiian feast that includes food, music, and dance. You could say you got at least one right today, right? It is a luau, Ren. Ren first to the punch. Nice. Sandy has it. Mama has it. Donna has it. Heather has it. What's what we need? We need to have an after party luau. My daughter's first birthday was a luau, a baby's first birthday luau. Tammy has it. So was mine, by the way, when I turned one. It's a family tradition. Colors of the Wind has it. Teacher Lori has it. Jane has it. John has it. Chris has it. Rev P, Nullifidian. Rhonda's like, that's too easy. I know. But throwing you an easy one. All right. How about this one? Which indigenous group is known for their practice of facial tattoos called moko? Which indigenous group is known for their facial tattoos called moko? M-O-K-O. Ooh, this must be easy as well because John Slade had it fast. It is the Maori. John Watson has it. The Maori. So does Sandy and Mama and Gordon and Teacher and Rev. Well done. I like it. What is the traditional garment worn by the women of the Navajo Nation called? What is the traditional garment worn by the women of the Navajo Nation called? Mm-hmm. the traditional garment worn by the women of the Navajo Nation? Stylish, says Trevor. I like the answer, though it is not the one I seek. Sandy doesn't know this one. Wow, I went from too easy to too hard. Oh no. It is called a bill. Sorry, Biil, bill, BL, or a Navajo dress, you could say as well. It is the traditional garment for Navajo women. Hmm. Question. What is the traditional dwelling of the Inuit people called? The traditional dwelling of the Inuit. Mhm. Yeah, you guys got it. The traditional dwelling for Inuit is the igloo. Chris got it, and so did Heather, and so did John, and Donna, and Tammy, and Trevor, and Sandy, and Maud, and Nolaphidian, and Teacher, and Jane. Lovely. By the way, I will say this behind me. I don't know if you saw it. I had nowhere else to put it. Everything where no one knows what to put in my house ends up in the office. And that is why behind me, you can kind of see that house over this shoulder. That is the house that Jacob built to represent. They used to in fifth grade, California students had to build a mission, one of the missions in California, and do a whole mission project. But over the last several years, instead, they've had the kids build Native American houses or dwellings or habitats. And that's what that is. That is a Native American, I think it's called a longhouse. The Pacific Northwest tribes, all the way up into Alaska, used those. So that's what that is sitting right there. Boy, did we work hard on that. I'm telling you. All right, I'm going to keep going. How about this one? Speaking of the Pacific Northwest, which indigenous peoples are known for their traditional totem poles in the Pacific Northwest of North America? You could name any number of tribes. Which indigenous people are known for their traditional totem poles in the Pacific Northwest of North America? Let's see what you got. Bring it to me. It looks like a condo. Yes, it does. We had to put little things around, pardon me, like little artifacts. You got credit for the more artifacts you put. And he wanted to do a canoe. And I tried to make a canoe out of leaves that I found outside. And I was watching YouTube tutorials about how to make a canoe. I finally just ordered one off of Amazon. I know, it's glued to the habitat. All right. I'm sorry. I know. I know. Don't judge. Don't judge. Fourth grade, says Teacher Lori. My apologies. It's not the house that Jack built. Native American Casio. All right. The answers coming in are, I don't see any of them that I am looking for. The answers to this question, which indigenous people are known for their traditional totem poles in the Pacific Northwest of North America? And the answers include the Tlingit, the Haida, the Shimshin, and by the way, that's a Shimshin house behind me. Tlingit, Haida, Shimshin. Anybody have those answers? I don't see them. Perhaps Inuit as well. That is up into Alaska, right? Yeah. All right. Cameo, I think you got it. What did Cameo say? The Aleuts. I don't have that on the list, but you might be right. You might be right. Okay. Next question. Just a couple more before I cut you loose until the Nikki Maduro show at 5 p.m. How about this? What is the name of the communal gathering of Native American tribes that features dance and music and socializing? What do they call it? Do we know? It is a powwow. John Slade, first to the punch on that one. Donald the Maine Coon has it as well. There it is. Yeah, it's the powwow. Heather has it. Maud has it. Rev has it. Chris has it. Nullifidian has it. So does Gordon and Tammy and Mama and Trevor and Jane. 'Tis the powwow. Which indigenous people are known for their longhouses in the northeastern United States and southeastern Canada? Who builds a longhouse? It's also called a rager. A powwow rager? Yeah, it's the Iroquois. John Watson says Iroquois, and that is correct. Iroquois build the longhouses. Cameo has it as well. Donald the Maine Coon says Iroquois. Yeah, that is correct. I love it. All right, shall we do perhaps one more? Which indigenous group is known for their intricate beadwork and quill work in North America? Which indigenous group is known for their intricate beadwork and quill work in North America? And this will be the last one because I know, I'm sorry, it's late. The answer is the Plains Indians, and that would include tribes like the Sioux, the Cheyenne, and the Crow. And I see that we have, what do we have? Looking for the right answer. Navajo, you say. They tell me the Sioux, the Cheyenne, and the Crow are known for their intricate bead and quill work. Navajo may be correct too. Hopi, says Chris. I know they're Hopi. Don't they have the worry dolls? The crafty one, says Trevor. Yeah. Yeah, Cameo says Cheyenne. Ren says Sioux. John has a blanket, the people, which I think really covers them all. Ren got it. Awesome. Well done, you guys. Well done for Native American trivia. Love having a different category. Kind of fun. If you have any ideas for categories, you guys know, please always send me the thoughts, the ideas. It is Kim at theafterparty.live. Kim at theafterparty.live is the best email address. Send me your ideas. I would love to incorporate them. I am so excited it is Thursday because that means at 5 p.m. I gather with my dear friend Nikki Maduro on the Nikki Maduro Show, and we talk politics and we drink cocktails and mocktails and we generally have a great time. And I hope that you'll enjoy the party and hang out with us as well. It is 5 p.m. The Nikki Maduro Show. I can spell it all out for you. There it is. The Nikki Medoro Show, 5 p.m. Medoro here on YouTube. So I hope I will see you in just a little while back here on YouTube. But until then, make it the very best rest of your Thursday, and I'll see you soon. Bye, everybody. Thanks for playing.
The After Party Live would like to thank the following contributors and viewers like you.
Oh, that's awesome, Rev. Send me the list, Trevor. De nada, mi amigo. Huge thanks to Cindy. I didn't see this before, Cindy. Looks like a sad bear. Oh, love your animal stories and trivia days. Thank you for all your hard work. Cindy, thank you so much for the contribution and for supporting the show and for your nice comments. And I really, really appreciate it.